like a hit on the soul when you're feeling alone. And that look on your face when I call you this late and you want me back home. Well, baby, I can't deny when I see you cry, wanna give it all up and move down the road to our Idaho before the sun rises up. You're in Idaho, wildflowers stronger than the white water flowing down the Payette in spring. You're the sawtooth over Stanley in the early morning revelry. I can't breathe when you're looking at me. Girl, you cut me like the canyons, this cowboy's old companion, the woman I know God made for me. And I'm running like the western wind, be wrapped up in your arms again. Ain't no place I'd rather be. I feel like the rest was kind of redundant, but
love that.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Jaywilliammiller. Thanks for joining us.
absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we're in Boise at the Treefort Music Fest,
Yep.
and you're a local guy. You live here in Boise. So how many years have you played this fest?
I think I want to say this is 3 probably.
Okay.
With, like the band.
Cool. Caught your set last night, part of it, and it was fantastic. You are a hell of a banjo player besides a guitar player. I got a kick out of that. That was a lot of fun watching you play the banjo. Tell me about that song you just played for us.
It's called Idaho Wildflower. I think a lot of people, even like some girlfriends that I've had, thought that I wrote it about them. But it's like a love song.
Sure.
And I think it was more birthed out of like being on the road with a lot of the dudes that I tour with, and I'm not married, and but some of them are married or in long-term relationships, and like it's
Sure.
such a strain. And so I've listened to the heartache, but also guys getting cussed out. For,
Right. How come you didn't call me last night?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
So I was just like, man, I hope that I can find somebody one day that's like worth it, or like that could we could make this happen like that. It's
Sure.
never gonna be easy, but it's like
No, it no matter what you do, to be honest with you, Jay, when you travel for a living, for work, it's always hard. Miss Shanda and I have been married 44 years. We've raised 4 kids. But it was hard because she got left home with the kids, and I was out on the road and trying to make a living, and not as a musician, but in sales and marketing, and did a lot of trade shows over the years, and so we'd be gone for, and there were certain times of the years when we traveled extensively. We might be home for a weekend and then gone again for another week or two, and so it's hard. And as a musician, like you said, you're not in that position, but someday you hope to be, and you hope to find somebody who can put up with it. We just got done interviewing Andy Crosby, and his wife Mindy sat here in the background, which is where they end up spending most of the time, right? In the background. Mine's behind the camera. She's too camera shy, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, but a beautiful song. I love that.
Thank
I love
you.
that. Yeah, that was
it's,
really pretty.
I think I've got out like just an acoustic version that's really similar to what I just played. But I'm in the studio working on a record now, and that song will be on it with the full band.
Oh, cool.
So.
Cool. So that's going to be your first album?
Full record, yeah.
First full record.
EPs out, yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. So, and your EPs are on like Spotify and Apple and wherever, all streaming.
All the places.
Yeah. You got a website?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just jaywilliammiller.com.
Cool. Okay. Well, we want to make sure everybody knows where to go find it. So let's talk about your music career. Did you grow up here in Boise?
Yeah, born and raised here, and kind of grew up around like the edge of town, closer to Meridian.
Okay.
So my dad's family is from northern Montana, or northwestern Montana, and my mom's family is from eastern Oregon.
Okay.
Big ranching family. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're at in northwestern Montana?
Around like Whitefish, Kalispell,
Okay.
Hungry Horse area.
Beautiful country. That
Yeah.
is so pretty. We were just talking about the Songwriter Festival. Whitefish, we've been the last 2 years to Whitefish Songwriter Festival. And actually last year, and they've asked us again this year, we get to interview some of the artists during the festival on Saturday and Sunday. They have a morning show called Coffee and Conversation. So
nice.
it's kind of like this. We just sit and BS, and they play some music, but we have an audience, and so we get to have some audience interaction, and it's cool. But we love Whitefish. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a pretty
amazing.
place.
Like,
yeah.
I played the Great Northern Bar up there.
Yes, yeah. Been in there.
Venue.
We did some interviews at the Great Northern, not this past year, but the year before. So we did the Coffee and Conversation at Slow Burn Records. I don't know if you saw that. It's right, kind of just on the backside of the Great Northern.
Yeah.
So, cool town. Yeah, I love that place. So, any musicians in the family? Mom, dad, grandpa?
No, I'm the only one. My brother's played in a couple like punk bands, and he's always asking to come on tour with me too, and later this year we might make that happen. But
sure.
So
younger brother, older brother?
I got 2 younger brothers. Yeah, one of them doesn't really do any music, and one just kind of does a little bit. But,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, so where do you think the music influence came from? You just got bit by that bug at some point, and
I think so. I mean, I grew up with, I think, a lot of like classic rock and like 90s country kind of, which are two, I don't know, different.
Yeah, very different worlds, but
yeah.
But there's some similarities, and I don't care what anybody says. You know, I grew up in the 70s, probably the same age as your parents, or close to, and grew up in the 70s, listened to the Eagles and America and those and Creedence. Those bands were more country than today's country is, I think.
I would totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I was just talking with somebody the other night about like we need to like do like a Eagles cover band or something, or go through some of these deep tracks that people have never really even heard.
Well, there's lots of there. If they haven't really explored and know the Eagles, their catalog is so vast and so deep, and has so many different influences. Don Henley had, but the problem with doing anything Eagles wise is they're legal. They like to tie people up legally. That's the.
Sure.
I played. I don't play very good, but I played Hotel California and shared it on a social media, and they shut it down.
It's for check.
Yeah. So we get copyright checked on everything we do. So if you've got a copyright on that song you played, it'll pop up. But if you allow it, then no problem. But we run into that occasionally.
Yep.
So because we're a music podcast, that's what our podcast is about, music.
Yep.
And so we want to share, and so when we do posts, we like to lead in with some live music, and that's not always well received.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so what was your big influence? You said kind of traditional rock, classic rock, 70s rock, and then some 90s country. So what really influenced your music?
I think, I've been an audio engineer a while, so I don't know. I think just throughout the years, I got really into like kind of the indie scene, and then so there's probably a period in my life where, you're a kid growing up on the way to football games or driving out to work our family's ranch over in Eastern Oregon. You're listening to whatever your parents put on the car. And,
right. Yeah.
And then you graduate high school and you're like, I want to be nothing like them. And
right.
So I
right.
got really into hip hop and super into hip hop still, but like a lot into like the indie wave, the Bon Iver kind of vibe that was in the mid 2000s, I guess. And then you get older and you kind of realize, I guess I am kind of like my parents, and I went back to that like classic rock and 90s country, but also like I think mixed in to that was like all the indie artists that I'd listened to over the years too.
Sure.
My favorite playlist is the Indigo playlist on Spotify.
Okay.
It's, just a lot. You'll have a song that like really doesn't sound country at all in there, but then you'll have like maybe like Lucas Nelson covering his father or something.
Right.
And it's just very,
Love Lucas Nelson. Yeah. We've seen Lucas live handful of 3-4 times. great artist. He's going to be in at Targhee Fest in July in
nice.
Driggs.
Yeah.
So we're not very far from there, right?
Yeah.
So we're hoping to get over to that. And him and Ryan Bingham are both playing.
Oh, that's a great lineup.
Yeah. So, but
Today's episode of Musical Miles Podcast is brought to you by Roper Apparel and Footwear. Whether you're chasing songs, loading gear, or standing front row at a live show, Roper blends Western tradition with modern comfort and style. Built tough, worn proud, and ready for every mile. Roper, wear the West.
anyway, what? So specifically on the rock side, classic rock, what really spoke to you? What did you really glom onto?
I love ballads. I think one of the first songs I ever learned to play on guitar was, I think it's Poison. I cannot think of the name of it right now. Oh gosh, Every Rose Has a Thorn.
Oh yeah.
Is that Poison?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when I graduated high school, actually, they do this Boise Music Festival here, which we played a number of years back. The first time they ever did it was like kind of this tamed chaos of a rager, and Bret Michaels was the headliner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but those kind of really, kind of ballads, stuff like that really kind of made a mark on me, I think.
Okay.
So
okay. And then 90s country. What do you lean towards? What
I don't know that it really comes out. I remember listening to a lot of I want to say Toby Keith. I don't even know if that counts as 90s.
Yeah.
But then you
late 80s when he kind of came on the scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, early 90s, and then throughout the 90s, he was a force to be reckoned with for sure.
I think of some other songs. And
you got Brad Paisley. You got
man, yeah. Brad Paisley is probably my favorite guitar player of all time too.
What a guitar player!
Yeah, I could listen to it for hours. So.
Yeah, love his guitar playing. If I'm going to pick a guitar player, though, me personally, Stevie Ray Vaughan was
not a bad one,
pretty tough to beat, right? Clapton's pretty amazing. Yep. I mean, there's so many good ones. Jeff Crosby's no slouch for an Idaho boy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at a show last night.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it was last night. We didn't make it because it was at midnight, but yeah, he's so talented. And there's a guy who loves what he does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody does. Your set was pretty high energy. I got a kick out of you guys. You had fun up there on stage.
Yeah. I mean, I like to. I started playing solo, and honestly, I'd written a lot of really sad songs.
You said that last night in your set that you're notorious for writing sad songs.
Yeah, I think those first couple of years of playing were kind of depressing, and then when the band came around, people were like, "Oh, I love this music," but it kind of puts me in a down mood sometimes. That's fair. So,
but you know what? A good ballad is, they got to be sad, right? To be a good ballad.
Yeah, I think I think one of our merch items, we have a sticker that's like "Sad boys that like to party," and the boys are all they feel the same way, but we just kind of I always say during shows, I'm like, these songs are gonna start off really slow, but I promise you, we deal with our problems with rock and roll and a beer too. And
there you go. There you go. You build and kind of get over that, right? Yeah. Right. Well, cool. Well, so is there a songwriter that really spoke to you? Somebody that you really like to follow, or I've learned a lot from.
In the indie world, this guy Noah Gunderson.
You're the second guy. Well, Andy mentioned Noah Gunderson.
Andy would say Noah Gunderson. He's I've listened to him talk about writing a lot. I've had the chance to sit down with him a few times and talk about writing and stuff. And he's just a lot of as far as crafting words together and building a story, and I don't know. I think building a song that's not just easily understood right away, but it tells the story through the music too.
So let me ask you, because I love the songwriting process, not that I'm a songwriter, but when you do that, do you start with the storyline first? Do you start with the title first? Do you start with the music first? How do you, or does it just depend?
I start with the feeling. I think So that's like I started writing music because I'd gone through a couple of years of really just tragedy and needed an outlet. And around 2020 is when I really like just put my head down and started writing.
Sure.
Because I had all that extra time on my hands like the rest of us.
Yeah.
And so I took those feelings and put them into songs, and that's just kind of even started with sad songs, but like now with love songs, you know, it's like it was, you know, the feeling of like Idaho Wildflower was like, you know, a feeling of like longing love kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So you start with the feeling, and then what comes? I mean, do you journal? Do you just make notes on your phone? How do you do that? Do you handwrite stuff?
Sometimes I found I would like to handwrite. I think it's way more aesthetically cool to like sit and pen a song down.
Yeah.
I think like if you're like out traveling on the road trying to make this thing happen, like you just don't have as much time, and like so honestly a lot of times I'll like be driving, I'll have an idea, and I'll like put it in a voice memo, and then come back to that. So I've got all these random voice memos of little things. And
do you always remember what the hell was I thinking, or does that come to you sometimes like that? Or
I'll absolutely forget it if I don't.
You go, what
was
down. What was I thinking there? You know, and I don't know about you, but you know, like you'll have that moment between sleep and awake.
Yep.
That you have those moments of conscious that you're like, oh, that's a great idea. That's a great song title. Or do you have those?
Oh yeah. I mean, there was like a moment I think a few weeks ago where I like was just slow to get up, and then had an idea for a song, and I was like, oh, I've got to go like put this down right now,
sure,
or it's gone like forever.
So do you when you pick up the guitar, like you're sitting there holding the guitar like I do, and I'm not, and once again, I'm not a guitar player, not a songwriter.
I'm a terrible guitar player, to be honest.
but I know you're pretty damn good, way better than I am. But I just like to I call it noodling, you know, I'll just play notes and see if there's something that fits, because I really don't know music theory. I don't know a lot about the guitar. I just know I love guitars and I love the sounds that they make.
Yeah.
And I'm so enthralled. I love to watch someone else play and watch their finger work, whether it's and I'm like, how do they make that sound? How do you make that note ring out?
Yep.
And I'm missing that. Where is that? How am I missing it? So I'm learning. I learn things by watching.
Yeah.
But my question to you would be: are you sitting there going, and you're just noodling, and then you go, oh, that's a good little riff for that song I had, that idea. Is that how that happens for you?
Yeah, I think I try to stick to like, you know, you take like a chord progression and figure out kind of what flows together. Get a little creative. I wouldn't say I'm great at music theory, but I am really like, now that this is becoming a more serious part of my life, you know, I'm trying to get better, work on myself. Actually, it was really funny. So we played our set yesterday. I had a music theory teacher in high school. I was awful at it. Like I failed the class, but he comes to all of our shows. The teacher, Derek Bernier. He was.
Was he at the show yet? Yesterday.
So it was like I love seeing him out, because it's like man, I was like not built for this, but he's still like so pumped to like see me out there doing it.
Oh yeah. Well, I love that. I love that he's out there supporting you. That, you know, I don't know if you ever saw Ashley McBride tell the story about her teacher who said, "You're wasting your time."
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's amazing too.
She is so talented. So talented. Have you had a chance to go out to Nashville at all?
Yes, not so much for music, but I've had a lot of friends who've lived there for music and whatnot.
Okay.
So I've made a few trips, and I've got my favorite spots down there. And
yeah, we love Nashville. We had the opportunity before we started the podcast to go out there for work and for some meetings, and got to see the Ryman and go to the Opry and go tour the back of the Opry and get to stand on that stage. And how cool is that?
Oh, it's
such a cool place. So do you have any aspirations for Nashville, or are you?
Yeah. I think I don't know, like I've had friends who have moved you know, to Nashville, or
there we go.
I've had friends who've moved to Nashville to pursue a dream or something.
Sure.
It's like every time you're there, it's funny. Like I love to play the ask your Uber driver what they do kind of thing. And
They're all songwriters.
They're all songwriters.
Every one of them's a songwriter.
Trying to fund making a record.
or they're a waiter in the restaurants. Oh, I'm a songwriter. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if that's the move right now. I kind of like to think that the age of the internet kind of allows people to get more exposure through that and be wherever they want to live. And I love Idaho, and I want to live in Idaho. So.
Well, there's some huge stars have been made on the internet. Baker Blankenship is one that no one would have ever thought Baker would have made it as a
not
musician.
someone you would see a natural.
No.
Yeah.
Well, but even in the age that we're in, you go back to the '90s country. You think back on the artists and the stars in the '90s. Joe Nichols, Clint Black, Randy Travis. Those guys they all had a look, right? They're very polished. They're all very, model-esque.
Yeah, it was Pretty Boy, the Riley Green.
The Riley Green look, right? But the world we live in today, there's room for Baker Blankenship and for Luke Combs and all with great voices, But
we were talking about John Moreland last night. Around campfire at Voice for Staying, and you familiar with him?
Vaguely.
Yeah. Just massive man covered in tattoos and bald and but insane voice and insane songwriter.
Well, a little bit like Post Malone. Who'd ever thought Post Malone would have fit into Nashville? Totally. Or Jelly Roll, for that matter.
Yeah.
Jelly, when Jelly first came on the scene, there was a lot of people. I wasn't sure I wanted to be a Jelly Roll fan. I'm a huge Jelly Roll fan. I've seen him live, and I've never met him, but I've worked with other songwriters and people that have worked with Jelly, and they tell me he's just as sweet in real life.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. I felt similarly, and then I was at a festival that we were playing, and he was headlining, and I'm loading out our set on a different stage, but I'm walking past the main stage, and he's giving this motivational speech, and I'm starting to tear up. It was kind of, okay, this guy's not that bad.
Yeah, he's well, for what he came through in his life,
Absolutely, yeah.
And what he's been able to accomplish. Just amazing. There are so many talented artists out there, though, that we don't get to be familiar with. We got to be familiar with you because of Treefort, but there's 500 plus acts here. How do we? You just shared a story with us about the tree bus. What do you call it? Fort bus? Bus fort? Tree line. Bus fort. Yeah. You guys, they got artists. You're actually playing on one, or you did?
Yeah, tomorrow too.
Tomorrow too. So that is just amazing to me that there's music everywhere in this town. You cannot walk outside of a venue or outside of a building and not hear live music happening somewhere.
Yeah,
this weekend.
Well, I mean, and even we're pretty lucky, and I really like living here, and honestly, I'm really thankful for the folks at Duck Club that have put all the years and time into creating this culture that we have here. Yeah, because there's I can't even think of the number of venues that are downtown now, and they've all got shows all week long.
Well, you've got, just the main ones like the Knitting Factory and some of the artists and the bands that they bring into town are pretty amazing. And this is just it's interesting how 4 hours from Idaho Falls to here, the difference in the music scene.
Oh yeah.
And I would love to see that Idaho Falls grow and accept that. And they're getting better. There's more venues over there, but it's still very small in comparison to here.
Yeah, I was a judge in a Battle of the Bands over in Haley.
Did you do that this year or
this year?
So they've had it twice.
Yep.
We were there at the first one.
Oh, nice.
She invited us to the first one, and then we did some interviews, but it was kind of a rough spot for us to do interviews. There's not really much there.
The Liberty's kind of small.
So we actually interviewed Heath Owen's band there.
Oh, I love Heath. We played some shows together.
And then ended up having to redo it, and we did some other brief interviews there with some other artists that played in that, but it was just, they weren't good, and so it was early on in our learning curve, and so we redid Heath eventually, and that was great. So, nice. But yeah, what a talented kid.
Yeah, and that whole experience was really cool because I know a lot of people here in Boise, and then the people that come through town, and but then I even me trying to go play, like a lot of times if you're headed over into Wyoming or Montana, going to some of those, like through Idaho Falls is like a nice place to stop, break up the drive, or Pocatello, but there's like really it's kind of a desert for
in
venues.
Pocatello, First Nash, they host some good bands there. Crosby's played there, and so has Tyler and the Train Robbers, and those guys played there. But you've got the Bone Store, which is out in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know if you know about it. What a cool venue! That's really cool. Jeff's played there as well, and so we've had lots of good bands. Well, they're hosting the Vandaliers are playing there this summer.
Oh, that's a great band.
And then on top of that, let's see who else. Oh, Sundance Head is playing there. Do you know Sundance?
I don't think so.
Sundance won The Voice in like 2016.
Okay.
And we've interviewed Sundance.
First name?
That's his real first name.
I love that. Awesome.
His dad was a famous singer songwriter in the 60s.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm trying to remember what his dad's first name was. He's since passed, but anyway, some great bands that come through over there. Well, they had the Wilder Blue. Wilder Blue was opening for. They had been opening for Luke Combs in stadium concerts, and then they played Bone, Idaho.
Yeah.
And so just crazy how that whole thing shook out. But anyway, there's some cool venues over there. We know a lot of them, and so you need to stay in touch with me if you're going to be coming through that way. Let me know. We actually have a artist that we've had on the podcast twice, and she was on that TV show CBS The Road. Do you know that show?
Oh,
did you watch that? Her name's Olivia Harms, and she is from Oregon originally, now lives in California, but she grew up on a ranch over there in Oregon.
Yeah.
And her mom is a very famous international Western Joni Harms.
Yeah.
And anyway, Olivia's going to be playing in Gillette at Dusty Vaquero Days. Do you know about that?
Yes, I've been wanting to make it over there. Yeah, it's always a dance of like what festivals you're at.
Right. Well, we're in the same boat, but we're actually going this year to Gillette, and then Olivia's following us home, and we're going to have. She's going to put on a concert in our backyard.
Nice.
So we're excited. So we might even, depend on the weather and how things go, we might even be able to do something like that. We love live music, and love to share that experience and try to get more people in Southeast Idaho to really understand and
we're actually playing a festival called South Fork Fest this summer.
Are you coming?
Yeah,
we'll be there.
Oh, great!
We covered it last year.
We'll have to hang out then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They reached out a couple of weeks ago.
It's the same week. It's the one weekend we don't have anything going on in August. So yeah, he just sent me the invite.
It looks awesome.
Way cool. Pumped. It's a beautiful place on the South Fork of the Snake River.
Yeah.
And so you'll love that. That's fun.
Yeah.
That kid, in fact, he's got to send me the lineup yet. I didn't know you were coming, so that's way cool.
He's probably wrapping it up. I was just, getting ready for Treefort. It took me forever to just sign our contract.
Sure.
So he was like, as soon as you do that, we'll put you on the lineup. I was like, oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, they do a great job because they had somebody come in and do a lot of video and stuff. They do music videos.
That's what they said. So
really cool deal. So we'll look forward to seeing you over there.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
So looking forward to it.
Yeah, cool. Well, anything else you want to share with us? Where else are you going this summer?
That's a good question.
You doing South Fork Fest? What other festivals?
What other festivals are we doing? It's a lighter summer, so the next 2 months I'm really digging down and trying to finish this record.
Okay.
So I'm usually Treefort is when you hit the road and for me at least and start playing a bunch of shows. I would say probably I look forward to this every year. We're kind of trying to turn it into a festival, but we played a place called Crouch, Idaho, near Garden Valley.
Okay.
Every year for the 4th of July.
Okay.
And the town was famous on the 4th of July for how crazy things got. It's like fireworks in the street. Like, there's kind of no laws. The police, legitimately, the police just sit and watch all the calamity go on. They're like, we're just trying to make sure no one dies.
Right.
And so it's always been like a really fun party. There's, it's up in the mountains. There's a river can hang out in. So we're calling it Freedom Fest this year.
Okay.
And in the passages, we just call it 4th of July, but we're trying to kind of forge a little maybe 4th of July festival there.
Sure.
So.
Well, fun. Well, cool. Well, if nothing else, we look forward to seeing you at South Fork Fest. That's in August.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we'll get this released before then. So it is... Yeah, Coulter Wilson. is the guy. So anyway, a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting them stacked in here like cordwood now. So, but man, we appreciate you taking time to sit
Yeah,
down
it was
with us.
awesome to meet you guys.
Yeah, it's cool to meet you. We look forward to seeing you and hanging out with you in at High C is the name of the little wide spot in the road by Ryrie, Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah, High C is the wide spot, but there's a hot springs there. And
Oh, sweet.
it's kind of cool. Kind of
All
cool.
right.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. All right. Hey, for Musical Miles Podcast, I'm your host, Byron Duffin. We are here at the Treefortfest in Boise, Idaho with jaywilliammiller. Yeah. All right. I got it right that time.
You did.
All right. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you somewhere down the road, I'm sure. Adios for now.
Adios.